You just moved to Prescott. The boxes are unpacked, the truck is gone. So what actually happens next? That's the part nobody tells you before the move. Today, we're sharing what people actually tell us 6 months in, even a year in, once they've fully settled. If you're researching this move right now, this is the video you should watch.
Before we get into it, if you're watching this because you're thinking about buying, selling, or making this move yourself, we would love to help. We hear from people just like you, ask these exact questions, trying to figure out if this is the right move for their family. Honestly, that's our favorite part of the job. So if you want to talk it through, our contact information is in the description below. Reach out anytime.
The first thing almost everyone tells us, usually around month 2 or 3, is how much slower everything moves here. We don't mean that as a bad thing. We mean maybe the grocery store checkout line moves slower because the cashier is chatting with 3 people ahead of you, or the contractor you might hire takes a little longer to call you back than what you're used to.
If you're coming from a big city, this can genuinely throw you off at first. You might find yourself frustrated that things don't happen on your timeline. But almost every single person who mentions this to us 6 months later says the same thing. They stopped fighting it and now they love it. It becomes the whole point of living here.
So, our honest advice? Build in extra time for everything, especially in your first few months. Don't schedule your home projects or appointments back to back the way you might have somewhere else. Give yourself room to adjust to a town that just runs on a different clock.
We talk about this all the time, but there's one that catches almost everyone off guard, even people who did the research. Prescott sits at about 5,400 feet, and that elevation means we actually get 4 seasons. People move here picturing endless desert heat, and then October rolls around and it's 40 degrees at night.
We get real snow some winters, not every year, but enough that you may need to shovel your driveway and drive slower. Roads may get icy overnight depending on where you are. Summers are genuinely mild compared to Phoenix, which is the whole reason people move up here in the first place. But the sun at this elevation is intense. People are surprised how fast they burn, even on a mild 75-degree day. So wear your sunscreen.
Then there's monsoon season, usually July through September, where you'll get dramatic afternoon storms that roll in fast, sometimes with serious wind and lightning. It's beautiful to watch, but if you're not used to it, the first time your power flickers during a summer storm can be a little unnerving. Just know it's normal, and most storms pass within an hour.
This is probably the biggest lifestyle adjustment people mention around the 6-month mark. Prescott, Prescott Valley, Chino Valley, and Dewey-Humboldt are all a little spread out, and depending on where you land, your closest big box store, specialty grocery, or specific medical specialist might be 20 or 30 minutes away.
A lot of our clients come from places where everything was 5 or 10 minutes from their door, so this takes real adjustment. You start planning your week differently, batching your errands into 1 or 2 bigger trips instead of running out for one thing at a time.
The flip side is that once you build that rhythm, most people say it barely registers anymore. You start combining a grocery run with lunch out or a hardware store trip with visiting a friend. It becomes a part of living here rather than an inconvenience.
This is probably the #1 thing people say scared them a little at first, and honestly, it's a fair thing to bring up. Elk, deer, javelina, and the occasional bobcat aren't rare sightings here. They're just part of the neighborhood. People tell us they had to relearn how to drive at dawn and dusk because that's when elk and deer are most active on the roads, especially towards the outskirts of town.
Rattlesnakes are the other one that comes up constantly, especially from people with dogs, cats, or small kids. They're common in the warmer months, and most locals just build simple habits around it, like checking the yard before letting pets out at night and giving snakes space rather than panicking. In the over 20 years that I've lived here, I've seen several bull snakes and other harmless snakes. I've also seen 3 rattlesnakes in 20 years. One of them while I was on horseback. My horse spotted it and I saw it. We didn't panic, we just rode on by it. Here's the thing, what we've found is that people hear the sound of the rattle and they go towards it, wanting to see what it is, and that's when they get bit. Not the right thing to do, just avoid it, walk the other way.
The upside people mention just as often is how much they end up loving it. Watching a herd of elk walk through a field at sunrise or javelina wandering through the yard becomes one of the things people say they genuinely miss if they left. It's a real adjustment, but it's rarely the deal breaker people worried it would be.
If you buy anything outside city limits, and a lot of our buyers do, you're likely dealing with a well, a septic system, or propane instead of city utilities, and that comes with its own learning curve. People tell us the biggest surprise is how much more hands-on homeownership becomes. You're the one responsible for the testing of your well, periodically scheduling septic pumps out every few years, and keeping an eye on your propane tank level before winter instead of just paying a monthly gas bill.
None of this is difficult once you know it's coming. It's just different from what most people are used to. We always walk our clients through exactly what a property has before they buy, so there are no surprises at closing. We also provide our clients with a list of service providers so they're prepared when things happen.
If you're on a county road rather than a city-maintained street, that's another one worth knowing. Snow removal and road grading can work differently than what you're used to, so ask your agent how that road is maintained before you buy.
This one is emotional and honestly is one of the most common things people bring up when they've been here for about 6 months. The first few months can feel isolating, especially if you moved without a built-in group of friends or family already here. You left your whole support system behind, and Prescott, being a smaller community, doesn't always hand you a new one overnight.
But here's the pattern we see over and over. People who get involved, whether that's a hiking group, a church, a volunteer organization, or just showing up regularly to the same coffee shop or gym, start forming real relationships within that 6 to 12 month window. And because it's a smaller town, those relationships tend to run deeper than what people had in a bigger city, simply because you keep running into the same people again and again.
If you're moving here without a built-in network, our honest advice is to be proactive in that first few months rather than waiting for it to happen naturally. And there's so much going on downtown most weekends, which is a great place to meet people. Maybe even join something before you move if you can find it online, or make it a priority the week you arrive. It genuinely changes how fast that lonely period passes.
With the median home price in Prescott sitting around $640,000 right now in July, we find most people do their homework on the purchase price. Where we see surprises is in the ongoing costs that aren't always top of mind during the home search. Propane prices can swing seasonally, so your winter heating bill might be higher than you budgeted if you're not on natural gas.
Homeowners insurance is another one people mention, especially if your property is closer to wildland areas, since premiums can run higher than what people are used to paying elsewhere. And if you're moving from a state with no state income tax or very different property tax rules, it's worth sitting down and running your actual numbers before you buy, not just comparing home prices side by side.
None of this should scare you off. Most people find the overall cost of living here still makes sense for the lifestyle they're getting. It's just worth budgeting for these line items instead of assuming your old utility and insurance costs will simply carry over.
We've got a video where we dive into costs of homeownership insurance, so we won't repeat all of it here, but it's worth mentioning as part of a day-to-day life. Fire season, typically late spring into early summer before the monsoon arrives, is something locals stay aware of, the same way people in other regions watch for hurricanes or severe winter storms.
What surprises new residents is how normal this awareness becomes. You'll see restrictions on outdoor burning during dry stretches, and you might notice smoke on the horizon from a fire that's often nowhere near you, sometimes hundreds of miles away. It looks alarming the first time you see it, but locals check the same couple of tracking resources and go about their day. It becomes background knowledge, not a daily worry.
So here's what we hear more than anything else, almost like clockwork, somewhere between month 6 and 12. People tell us the adjustment period was real, sometimes harder than they expected, and then one day it just clicks. They stop comparing Prescott to wherever they came from, and it starts to just feel like home.
The people who tell us they're scared 6 months in are almost always the same people who tell us a year later that it was the best decision they've made. That's not us putting a positive spin on it. That's the pattern we see move after move, year after year. If you're in that adjustment window right now, or you're worried about it before you even move, just know it's normal and it does pass.
If this gave you a clearer picture of what life actually looks like here, check out our video called The Best Places to Live Around Prescott Under $750,000. We'll link it in the corner. It walks through exactly where to look depending on the lifestyle you want.
And remember, if you're thinking about making this move, our information is in the description below, so feel free to reach out. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.